Hi everyone, it's Charlene, one half of the Flights of Fancy Stitchers. I am coming at you at 2:30ish on the, I gotta get my notes, I have lots, on the 11th of February. This is video number 157. I have a lot more notes than I thought I was going to, so I guess I have a lot to share today. A lot of little things. So let's get started. And I will try not to ramble on too long. I have my glass of water today. I used it to give my plants a drink in the living room while I was grabbing pictures, which I will show you in a moment. And that'll work out perfect. I don't need anything special, just something to drink. So water it is today. It is snowing. It is 8 degrees and the sun is shining, which my dad would always say that if it snows or rains with the sun shining, it's going to do it again tomorrow. So, as if you've been with us for a while, you know our dear Poe. Can you say hello to the peoples? No, Mom, I don't want to talk to the paparazzi. This is our beautiful potato with her gorgeous blue eyes. She always looks cross-eyed. Anyway, such a good girl. We've had her for a very long time. So, her and her brother, Pearl, are litter mates, and they were, let's see, 13. So what would that make them? They'll be 12 in August. And then Dobby and Luna, which you guys have seen in the past, they are litter mates, and they will be, how old will they be? They'll be 6. 6? Yeah. They'll be 6 in October. So all of our babies are, we have no babies. They just think they're babies. All right, you gonna sit with me? No? Okay. All right, down you go. All right, so now that show and tell is over, the important part of the video is over, so you know you're welcome to leave now because you know you've seen all the great stuff. So all right, I will show you the orts first because I have them here handy. So this is my normal everyday project ort, and this is my ort that I have reserved for my jellies. And I need to say thank you to the new subscribers. I saw that we have a few more, so welcome to our channel. For those of you that are new, my daughter and I, Morgan, do this channel together. She lives in Kansas now. When we started it, she was here at home, finishing high school, and then went to college, and so then we would kind of film when she would, be home on like breaks or things like that. But now she lives in Kansas full time. So we usually take turns doing videos. She has been very busy with everything that she's got going on in her career and whatnot, so she hasn't had time to film, but she's hoping to get something done here in the near future. So we will see what she gets done. Totals for the month of February so far, I am at 7,568, and for the year I am at 31,676. So very happy with those numbers. Flosstubers that I've watched. I've watched quite a few new ones, no new people that I have subscribed to, but as always, my favorite ones, I have watched Sarah Stitchin' Mommy, and I have watched Janet Jabber. So make sure you go check them out. I will put a link down below for their channels, plural. Okay, I found a freebie, and what prompted this is that I saw a sampler that I was like, oh, I need you in my life. And then I went to find it, and first of all, it's out of print. And when I did find it on eBay, it was, $5 gazillion. It's up there with Lady of the Flag. So probably won't be acquiring that anytime soon. But in searching, I came across Stone Street Stitchworks, and this was a freebie on their page. They actually have quite a few freebies. But this one was the only one that really spoke to me. So I thought that was really pretty. A Quaker postcard. So that one is definitely going to, and it's a tiny one on 14 count. It's only 12.5 by 6.5. So I mean, it's a small one. And it doesn't even really have a key code. It uses, excuse me, black, tan, red, and brown. But I was thinking that we could have a lot of fun changing it up with all the different colors and just kind of make it your own. So yeah, so I thought I'd share that with you. Again, Stone Street Stitchworks. And there was an Etsy page attached to that too. And then, like I said, they had several freebies. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right. Dyed fabric. I told you guys last week when I came to you that I was going to do some fabric dyeing. And the one, excuse me, did not turn out like I was hoping. It's too dark. And yes, I could throw it in the sink and I could re-bleach it. But I have a couple projects that I think yeah, that's about true. It's a piece of 18 count. And it's just a scrap piece. And I was doing this hoping for much lighter results, more long designs for a pattern that I was going to start. But it was so pretty and so modeled, and I was like, no, I can find something to do on that. I'm not going to mess that up. That's too pretty. And then this one, you guys are going to love this one. This was supposed to be like ugly, dingy brown. Not dark, but just like dirty, muddy, dingy brown. And it's totally washing out. It's more of it almost looks pink. And I tried tan, I tried dark brown, I threw it in the sink, then I put it in the wash machine and actually just washed it to see if, I needed to get those fibers to accept the dye. It turned into a whole afternoon of WTF. And I was very frustrated at the end, but then I got to looking at it after I got done. And a long time ago, I think this might have even been back during COVID, oh shoot, it didn't save it. I took, on Jeanette Douglas's, I think it was on her Facebook page, she offered this entire series for free. So you could get the border and then you could get all of the little individual flowers. And I saved them. And I was like, I want to do these someday. And couldn't find a piece of fabric that spoke to me. And so, and this is now for sale on 123. But it's the mini bouquet collection. I have most of what I need to get this started. Oh, I hate the Flosstube yawns. Anyway, so I think this fabric turned out this way for a reason. And it's more than big enough. I think that I didn't save that page. 13 by 15 sticks in my mind. More than big enough. So I am going to put this one on my list of starts in the very near future. And we'll get back to that. I'll show you the whips first, and then we'll get back to that here in just a moment. The other thing that I saw, doggone it, I do sleep, I promise. Not much, but I do sleep. Um, One of the other things that I saw on a Flosstube channel, which I thought was a great idea, and I had never found this or had never watched this Flosstuber before. Not a new Flosstuber, but new to me. But she was going through, so she has hundreds of pieces of artwork. And she decided that every video she was going to show a handful of them. So maybe this video she'll show 2, maybe the next video she'll show 10, like whatever strikes her fancy. And I was like, that is a really cool idea, because a lot of the work that she was showing was a few decades old, which I thought was great, because like some of the stuff she had shown was from, there was a couple pieces that she had done for her dad that were clear back from the 80s when she very first started stitching. And I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed seeing that older artwork, and you know, as we did back then, you know, if it called for white Aida, or you know, we didn't change colors, we didn't change fabric, like we stayed the course. And it was really neat, because what she did is she picked this room and she pulled all the artwork off and she showed this room in this particular video. And I think she had like 8 pieces or something. And it was really neat to see the graduation of, like I said, early 80s to literally something that she had finished for a Christmas gift for an individual, you know, in this time span. And it was really cool. So I thought I would do something very similar to that. I am stealing her idea because I thought it was great. So I started with the living room, and I will show those to you right quick. I do not know the names of all of these. Some of these are older. One of these I actually finished last year. So to get started, oh, hi Dobby. Dobby's investigating. And all of these are framed by me. And there's a couple of them that, like I said, they are older, and I need to take them apart and restretch them. So first one I'm going to show you, I finished this one in, I want to say maybe in 20. I think it was in 20 I finished this one. But this is an Emma Congdon with a glare. This pattern was in one of the keepsake calendar. I think it was February keepsake calendar of maybe 18 or 19. And I used all the called for colors, and typical me, 14 count white Aida. And I love this one. I made this one for Preston for, I actually think I gave it to him for maybe our wedding anniversary that year. And just a gray frame. And then the next one, I finished this one probably at least 10, maybe 12 years ago, maybe even longer. It doesn't have a piece of glass on it. And this was a kit. It came with the threads, and I think it's either 16 or 18 count. Thinking probably 18 count. But I thought it was perfect because there are 4 of us and 4 hearts. And the mat was from another frame, and so I cut it just a little bit bigger. It's very raggedy, you can tell. But this is definitely one that I need to redo, and I need to get it behind some glass. So I don't know the name of the pattern. I know that I think I ordered it maybe from Hirschner's. Maybe. I can't remember. It's been a long time ago. For a long time it hung in our bedroom, and then when we redid the, you know, decorations and whatnot of the house, we hung it into the living room. Okay, this one I finished last year, and this is a Jeremiah Junction. This is one of my, I have 3 alphabet samplers done, and this is the cat one, and I don't know what issue it was. It was, like I said, it was a Jeremiah Junction, what is it, Country Cross Stitch magazine. So I really like this one. And then this one is, I can't remember what she's called. I think she's Winter Angel. I think. Anyway, she's from a Stony Creek magazine, and she took me forever to make, and I had actually started her for someone, and that someone and I were no longer friends. And then I was going to make her for, or finish her for someone else, and they said they didn't like stuff hanging on their walls because they didn't want to have to dust. And I was like, well, then I'm not going to put the effort into finishing something that you obviously are going to have to dust. And so when I hurt my knee, so that was in 18, I was kind of going through this funk and looking at all my projects, and you know, I had so many that needed finished that had languished for a long time. Like I said, this one was probably started in like the late 90s. And I was like, I'm going to finish her. And I had all of the beadwork. I had everything I needed. This was the first time that I had ever worked with Whisper, which is what her muff and her, I think her hat and part of her collar and her muff is out of that white Whisper. And I did not enjoy it. But it did make the picture. But I went ahead and I finished her, and I had a lot of fun when I finally got down here to all the beadwork. And I actually had trouble with her at one point because, you know, typical Stony Creek, same symbols, some of them are in red, some of them are in black, and her mouth was the same symbol, again, red, black, as down here in her skirt. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me why, you know, the picture she was, you know, her lips were red. Why was it whatever, pink or gray or whatever it was down here in the skirt? And I had just photocopied the pattern because I always make a working copy. And again, that was when I was first learning how to stitch. This was like probably the 3rd or 4th thing that I decided to stitch, which, not smart. But when people go, oh, I'm intimidated by a hate at Stony Creek, Teresa Winsler, Joan Elliott, those are honestly, which I consider myself a veteran stitcher, those to me are much more intimidating than a hate. A hate is just sit down and stitch. This is very intricate, very detailed. I still, well, I don't know if I had that book or not. I might have given it to Morgan. I can't remember if I still got that one or not, but I saw it on Stony Creek the other day when I was cruising around on their website, so I know it's still available. And then this one I finished, I don't know, it's been 2 or 3 years ago. I had started this one for Morgan's kindergarten teacher. That tells you how long ago I started it. Morgan will be 24 this year. And I was stitching on it, and, you know, typical style. And it was it 11 count? Yeah, I think it's 11 count. Yeah. And I don't remember where I was at. I don't know if I'd gotten up into the sewing machine yet or not, or maybe I was over here in one of the boxes. Anyway, and we were going on a field trip, and I was finishing for a year of end of year gift, words. And the teacher was like, oh, that's kind of ugly. What is that for? Anyway, so it sat and sat and sat and sat. And one of the main reasons I didn't like working on it was because it was 11 count, and that's just kind of, but like the angel, it was one of the ones that I'm like, I'm tired of looking at this in my box. I want it done. So I picked it up, and I ended up, I think I turned this into a travel piece when I was waiting for kids at the bus stop, if memory serves me right. Because I think Dalton was in junior high and Morgan was in high school. And so I had, 2 times to be able to work on it. So, yeah. And this one, I actually saw this one on, I think I saw it on eBay. Might have been on Etsy. But they had the full kit of this one available. And it was very inexpensive. It was like $15 or something. So, yeah. So, that's my show and tell. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I love seeing the old work that we do. Just, yeah. All right, 20 minutes in. I have some haul. So, and these are going to go along with what I'm going to show you that I'm going to be starting. So we went to, Preston is refusing to go to Joann's. And the reason being is that one of the reasons is that every time we go into Joann's, we cannot find the threads that I need. Since they are in the process of Chapter 11 or bankruptcy or whatever they've got going on, they're refusing to accept coupons. They're refusing to accept discounts. We personally, I have not had problems with it. I know that I have talked to people that they would not accept military discounts. They won't. I read a comment that a lady got a $500 gift card from her husband for Christmas. That was all she wanted, was just to go to Joann's and buy her stuff. And because they're in bankruptcy, they refused to honor the gift card. So they were out $500. Again, social media, take it for what you will. But Preston is like, no, we're not going to Joann's. I don't care if we have to pay extra. We will go to Michael's to make sure that we can get your thread. I'm like, okay. And it worked out well because I had a really nice coupon, and then I had some points saved up on Michael's. So it was about the same price, but he's very put out at Joann's right now. So I'm not going to argue. Anyway, so I picked up some fabric. I picked up, sorry for the crinkle, a big chunk of 14 count white, dog hair, cat hair. Don't think I got that at the store. A big chunk of 16 count. And I got a big chunk of cream 14 count. And again, I will show you what these are for momentarily. I picked up, I didn't get the threads for the big project that I'm getting ready to start. Well, actually, I'm getting ready to start 2. I'm hoping, so there's the threads. I came home with all but 3 of the threads that I needed in my Massey Ferguson shopping bag, because we don't have plastic bags here anymore. We have to have our own bags, which is good, although I really like the plastic bags when I done cat litter, but I agree with conserving. So waste not, want not. The other 2 big projects that I'm going to show you, I will have to go back and get them kitted up. I won't get to go out this next weekend. I was hoping so, but with the weather, Preston's going to be working, so we'll probably wait and go out. If it's not storming, probably the weekend of the 21st or 22nd. So I'll get them then. And then I got onto 123 and I ordered some thread for another project. I will not be showing it here today. I'll show it later. But I needed some thread, and then I saw on another channel that somebody had posted a picture of this project, and I was like, yes. And I have almost everything I need to start this. I'm still debating on the fabric. I might dye something. That green that I showed you is too dark. It's too close to the leaves. So anyway, here's the specialty threads that I needed for a project that I'm getting ready to start for a birthday gift. And then the pattern that I ordered was the jump clump. I love this so much. It's just so sweet. So, and the little guy is 1/1 for quite a bit of him, but it's only, oh, it looks like maybe a dozen, maybe 2 dozen stitches. It won't be that big of a deal on 14 count. So as soon as I get the rest of the threads and then decide on the fabric, I'm going to get that one started. That one will stay up year round because I love spiders. I have beaded spiders all over my house. Okay, so we'll get started on the whips. So my calendar has been very full. As I explained to you guys, this week I have anniversary pieces every day this week except on Saturday. So the eagle didn't get very much love this week, or won't get very much love. So we'll just go backwards. So the one that I worked on today, I started this one in, I just typed that, 22, I believe. And I have my threads on here. Hang on a second, guys. Sorry about that. So across the street, they are building a new house. And they broke ground. They've been breaking ground, like they've done the perk test and all that kind of stuff throughout the fall and into the early winter. And day before yesterday, they brought in the backhoe, the excavator, all that good stuff. And they're actually like digging the forms for the house, which is all great and fine. I mean, it's Colorado. Everybody's moving to Colorado. But they're noises that we're not used to because it's very, very quiet. They just dropped off a porta potty for the construction guys. So exciting. The part that I like about it the best is because our very inconsiderate neighbors like to park on the street, and our street is about this wide anyway. Not only does it make it very difficult to get in and out, but when it storms, the snowplow can't plow, which makes it very difficult for us to get in and out of our driveway. Not the snowplow, but having all these cars parked, and sometimes they'll park literally at the end of our driveway. So it makes it really hard to get out. Well, since they started doing all this construction work, they can't park over there. So now the street is open. So it's actually kind of nice. I'm not complaining. So anyway, back to the video. So like I said, I think I started this in, it's either 20 or 22. I can't remember. But I cut up my card that came with it to use for my floss. But this is Fizzy Moon with Love. He's very tiny. And today is his anniversary date. So I worked on him and I put 150 stitches in him. At least he's got kind of a face now. So, and he is in a recycled project bag that I made. This was one of the bags that I had, one of the coffees. I don't know how I'm going to get that one down to show you because it was a Herculean effort to get that one hung. So I might have to have Preston help me take that one down so I don't break something. Because that's 5 in 1 on that one. Literally 5 in 1. All right, next thing. So yesterday's anniversary. So yesterday I had 2 anniversary day projects, which I've told you in the past that I want to get away from having anniversary dates, duplicate anniversary dates if I can. So that's what I'm trying to do better about. So the one I worked on yesterday is called Morning Stretch. This was a Ruth Thompson with Heaven and Earth Designs. She is no longer with them. I know that she does have some of her artwork with, I want to say Thread Geeks. And then somebody said that she was with Unconventional X Stitch. So, and I haven't been over and checked that one out, if that's the one it is. I can't remember for sure, but I know that she is with Thread Geeks. So this is where I am at on this one. This is a graduation gift for Dalton from college. So I basically put in some more Kranic. No, excuse me. Yeah, some more Kranic, some more white, and then a little bit of gray. And I ended up with 161 stitches. So I'm looking forward to when this one comes out with my full coverage. And this is 16 count white Aida, because it's going to be a big one. Not huge, but bigger. All right. Next up, on the same day, was my black work bouquet. This one was out of one of the keepsake calendars. This was a recycled Halloween bag. And this was from keepsake calendar 22. I have quite a few of these. And I think I can show this without, yeah. So again, February's project. I love black work. I've done several pieces that I don't have here that I could show you because I've given them to Morgan. She has 2, no, she's got 3 black works. One of them I made into a jewelry box. That they're just gorgeous, gorgeous pieces. All right, so this is where I'm at, and I did 167 stitches, and I basically worked in this black right here. So, which I'm really weird, although I hate that word, but I am weird because I hate backstitch. Like, backstitch is the part of cross stitch that I dislike the most, but I love black work. Now, tell me if that's not an oxymoron. Very contradictory. All right. Next up was Hearts and Stitches. Its anniversary date was actually on Sunday. And this is a piece out of Cross Country Stitching, and this is the magazine that I was trying to think of. Cross Country Stitching, Jeremiah Junction, that cat sampler came out of. I don't remember which one it was out of, but yeah. So this one, so you can do this one 2 different ways. You can either do it like this and set this one on top of this border, 2 different fabrics, or you can just do this one. And I am doing this one, but I'm not putting the blue X's in the background. It'll just be the base and the heart flowers. So, and I put, I don't know if I said it or not, 126. And I worked, basically I brought this, I think it was 38, 28 around here. And then this was, I want to say 934. And I brought that one up to there. So, and I didn't write down the anniversary date on this one. I think it was from 22 also. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was from 22 also. It does not have a bag. I need to get one made for it. All right, so I was trying to finish this for Preston for Valentine's Day. And I was like, oh yeah, I got this. And I ran out of thread. I went and got another one. I ran out of thread. I went and I picked up, because I was using picnic basket. The picnic basket that I have is very light compared to this, which I talked to Morgan, and Morgan goes, well, it's earth, it's fine. So I picked up chestnut. It's almost done. And I am basically halfway done. What I'm talking about, I am talking about Ink Circle's Earth Dragon. So I have to make sure I show you this the right direction. Yes. So this side is done. And that graduation of color actually looks pretty cool. So this side is done. This top, this middle motif is almost done. I'm waiting to finish this because this is kind of my direction of, you know, top, left, right, so on. So I had some stuff that came up on Monday. No, yesterday was Monday. Sunday. That I didn't get a chance to work on it. And that kind of, I needed to put in about 600 stitches a day-ish to get it done. And I totally lost Sunday. And that pretty much, yeah. I have this on my Whip Go board for a finish for this month. So it got pulled this month. So I'm hoping to get back to this one, to at least finish it in February, but it's not going to be done in time for his Valentine's gift, which makes me sad. And we already exchanged gifts, but I really wanted to finish that for him. It will get done. All right. Next thing that I worked on, this is my no anniversary date piece for the month. And I'm talking about my eagle. And as I'd mentioned before, I wanted to, my goal is to finish the bird this month. I don't know if I'm going to get it done. There's a lot of stitches left in him and a lot of backstitch. So what I ended up doing, I worked in him, did quite a bit of backstitch since you've seen it last. But I wanted to make sure that, as I had explained to you guys, I had messed up on my count with these trees. So I did pick up a green and I pulled it all the way down to make sure that essentially all of this is lining up to here. And then again, this will just be fill-in because, you know, these don't have to be perfect. But if I would have come across here, it wouldn't have lined up. But now it will. It's all good. So I worked on, again, mostly him. This wing is almost done. This top wing up here is almost done. Stay put. I think I have 2 or 3 more rows to bring up, and then of course the back stitch. His tail is almost completely backstitched. I think I've got 2 or 3 more lines left to do there. And then this is the green. So I am clear to the edge here, and then I brought it around and I'm clear to the bottom here. All this is backstitched now. Like I said, the tail, and then I started working up here into the back. So then when I pick this back up on Sunday, because that'll be the next day I get to work on it, and then I'll lose one more day in the month. That I have one more anniversary piece on the 21st. But the rest of the month I will be able to give him love every day. I don't know if I can get him done, but I'm sure going to try. And now that I know that I'm okay over here and I'm okay down here, and of course the top, I'm not too worried about this over here, because again, this is all lined up, so I know this is going to be okay. So, but that is where I'm at. So, give me just a second, guys. Sorry about that. I've decided that if you want somebody to call you, or if you want somebody to need something, start filming your video or sit down and do your 30 minutes of stitching, because it never fails. It's guaranteed. Let's see. Next up is my full coverage piece for the first half of the month. I have not stitched on this yet today. I'll actually work on that while this is uploading. So this is from the Awesome Pattern Studio, and this is the Star Wars dogfight. And I have two of these going. I think I've told you guys this before, I have also got the Imperial Shuttle that I'm working on. And I've got quite a bit done on this. I've been averaging about 120, 130 stitches a day when I get to pull this out. So I'm really happy with that. I think I hit, it was 4% yesterday. So that's where I've got to. I came up here almost to the top, not quite. And then this is part of the pod and the wing. There's only 11 colors in this, so I've got myself now where you can see I filled in this big old swath of 356. I'm working on this now. I think this is 300 or 301. There's a big old swath of that now. So, and this one I will work on through Friday, and then on Saturday I will pull a new project. And this is in my Star Wars bag. So, like I said, I will work on this one while this is uploading for today's stitches. It has a total of 22,000 and change, I think, for the total stitch count. All right, and very last, which last night is the first night that I have not got to touch this one in a while, which I was kind of sad, but it's okay. It's also nice to kind of take a break. So I'm talking about my Jelly World. And it is becoming more and more apparent that the chances of me getting this first part done before the middle of March is probably not going to happen. So that is where I am at. I am at 40, I think I'm up to 43% now, 44% done of this part one, and I'm working my way back across on the 4th row of 10, going across, and trying to remember, I think I still have, I think I've still got a couple X's right in here to do. Maybe not. I think so though. And then I've been bouncing back and forth on the jellies. I've got a big swath of 939 that is in both of these areas that I'm tackling. So, and then there's hardly any of this part of the 4th row done, which you can see there. So I wanted to have this done before the middle of March. Originally this was going to be my travel piece in March, and I decided I didn't want to do that. I'm going to end up taking my stitching shelf, and so I was like, okay, I want to get this done before we, you know, start our travels. And I needed to do, I think at that point it was at like 378 a day, and I've had too many days where I've gotten 200 stitches or 100 stitches, or like yesterday there was no stitches on it. I worked on other stuff, and then I had other stuff that I needed to get taken care of. I mean, we have a life, right? And yeah, so I'm disappointed in myself, but again, it's when you turn it into a job per se, it kind of takes the fun out of it. That being said, I have 6 new projects that I am hoping to start this month. I know, totally contradictory for what I said, you know, however many videos ago of need to finish what I've got and not have so many starts. Yeah, that ain't happening. I don't even know why I said it. So the first one, which I was going to use that piece of fabric that I showed you guys, and that thread that I showed you is for this. That piece of fabric that I dyed, I thought, oh, that'll be perfect for this. Nah, I'm going to either dye something else, or I'm just going to use like they did in the pattern and just use white. I think white would be gorgeous. But this is a True Love sampler from Happy Mood Point. Had this one for a long time, and it goes into Pattern Keeper very nicely, and that is going to be one of my starts. That one will be for Preston. The other one that I plan to start is, and I've had this one for a few years too, again, threads are in that bag. I was thinking about dyeing a piece of real pale pink, because there's white in this, and I think I still might, or I might do a very pale green, just enough so the white will stand up on it, because green and pink go very well together. This is called Love Bug, and it's from Sprouting Lupine, and as far as I know, they're still on Etsy. Love this one. I told the guys after we went on our Civil War tour last year that I was going to stitch a cicada to hang on the walls, and they both thought I was nuts. And I'm sure if you live in the South, you're going, no, they are double spawn, which was kind of what was said to me by a lady I met in North Carolina last year. I think they're cool. I just think they're cool as ever. I thought they were awesome. I actually caught one when we went to a Civil War site. He set on my finger. I got some pictures of it, and I think they're cool bugs. But again, I like spiders. So to each their own. Next one I'm going to start, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of that white. This is a huge piece. It's I think it's 215 by 400. But I'm going to take a piece of that white, and I'm going to grunge it up with some gray dye. Just very pale, very minute. This is the red and black sampler from Alforst Embroidery. It's a biggie. And I picked up a skein of red and a skein of $37.99. It's not black, it's $37.99. That one is going to get started. The next one I'm going to start, I actually picked this one up. Dalton loves Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Gandalf, Smaug, all things LOTR related. So I found this pattern on Etsy, and I'm sorry I forget. It's Viggo Mortensen's character. Narwhal? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, that's his sword. And so I'm stitching this, and you're supposed to do the white background. And I'm like, yeah, no. So kind of the same theory that I'm going to do for the Forest one. I'm going to dirty up, because this is grays and blacks. I wasn't able to, it's 413 actually. I wasn't able to get 413 when I went out. That was one of the colors that I couldn't get. But I think I'm going to grunge up a piece of this and get that done for him, because it's only like 4,000 stitches. And I think I'm going to turn that into a focus to maybe get done for him in time for his birthday. We'll see. And then last, so, and yes, I am disappointed in the company for things that have been said and done, but I'm not going to cut my nose off to spite my face either. I still am very, very much obsessed with Richard Lorenz and his birds. And currently, as far as I know, they're only available on Haid. Haid did have a sale last week for Valentine's Day, and Morgan treated us to a couple patterns. The first one, I've been wanting this one since it came out, but it was the full size, and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna stitch, no. So this is out now in a, I think it's a mini, and it's called Wonderland, and everything about this just, oh my God, yes please. So she and I are going to start that one as soon as we can get out to get our threads. And the other one that she got me, because I am obsessed with these birds. I have all of the ones that are in minis so far. I don't know if I'm ever going to get them stitched, but I am obsessed with them. And I don't know why. My nickname, because of my maiden name, my nickname was always Bird. And it didn't help that I'm, 5'9", 5'10", and, that was always my nickname, was Bird. And I don't care for a lot of bird stuff per se, but these guys, and they're so wonky and so unique, and yes, gotta have them. And this just, her name is Flo. Is she just not? Yeah. So those will be starts, and the Jeanette Douglas one too that I was telling you about. I've got to get all that thread gathered up though. That's going to be a little bit of a process to get that one done. But those are my future start plans. I don't know for sure when I'll start them. Obviously not this week, because I have anniversary projects, excuse me, through Friday. But maybe next week. Like I said, Morgan and I are going to start Flow and Wonderland together, and I think we'll probably do that. It won't be this coming weekend, but maybe the next weekend when I can get out to get my thread. So we'll see. Have the fabric. I just gotta, yeah. All right, I think that is everything I've had to say. We are almost an hour in, so if you stuck with me and enjoyed all my yappity 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 yap, I appreciate you. I feel like I'm forgetting to say something. Oh well, it'll be here next week, right? Next week should be normal. With the weather coming in like it is, Preston's probably going to be working Monday. So he'll probably still be on nights on Tuesday. So it'll be a later afternoon video, but my plan is to come back next Tuesday. Maybe I'll even have a couple starts over the weekend. We'll see. I don't know. I have got a ton of stuff kitted up that I want to start. It's just, you see all the new shiny stuff. And then I've been watching, oh, that's the other thing I was going to mention. So I've been watching, if I get this wrong, I'm so sorry. That is another one that I've been watching, is is it Steph with Lindy Stitches? She's been doing all of the little Nashville market release teasers. That's the best way I want to say it. Wow. There are some gorgeous samplers out there. Just wow. Yeah, there's some really, really neat stuff this year. I haven't been too overwhelmed the last few years to go, ooh, there's been a couple pieces here and there. But this year there's some, yeah, they might find their way into my cart, into my house, into my stitching basket, because I have 102 whips and I have nothing else to do. You know, yeah. I say that I'm not a process stitcher, that I'm a progress stitcher. Is that how you say that? That you want things done, you want them hanging up on your wall, or you know, whatever. But then you see all the pretties and you're like, no, I must have. I think we're just obsessed. And I don't think I'm alone in saying that. I think this is a craft that makes us very happy, and we collect as much as we stitch. I know I'm that way with my Hades. I have, it's not just Hades, it's the full coverage pieces. I have so many patterns. I'll never get them all done, but anyway, now I'm just yapping. All right, I'm going to go check out the floss tubers I've listed below. Go find something awesome to stitch. Tell me what you're stitching on. Share with me what you're stitching on. I got all my baking done this morning. I made peanut butter cookies, and I made the milk chocolate Heath, you know, the Heath bars, breaking them into bits and made them into cookies. I sent a box of them away to Dalton for Valentine's Day. The rest of them are on the counter for Preston's lunch. Morgan's Valentine's Day box went in the mail yesterday. She just has to wait because she's going to watch this and go, "What'd you send me?" Hopefully it's there by Friday. If you celebrate Valentine's Day, I hope you have a wonderful day. If not, I hope you still have a wonderful day, just without all the hearts and candies and frills and all that good junk. And until next week, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching our videos. Thank you for making all of this possible for Morgan and I to share all of our love of the hobby that we all share. And just remember that it takes absolutely no energy whatsoever to be a kind and decent human being. Have a great day, guys. Stay warm, stay safe. Like I said, it's snowing here, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you.